Hello, friends. James Stevenson back with another episode of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today? Today's hater is going to once again be Jon Bryant at Jon Bryant 421 on X. We featured him a few times before in the past. Right, Loki? You can barely see Loki back there. Let me tilt the camera in his direction so you can see Loki's back there. He joined me for the episode of Duncan on Munkin just a moment ago, but I'll keep the camera trained on him. You can keep an eye on him if he does anything interesting in the Loki cam right there, but I'm going to show you this tweet from Jon Bryant, to which I replied. We'll get to that in a minute. Who was Jon Bryant retweeting? Well, it was Dan Ives at D Ives Tech. We also believe this is an indirect nod to EV leader Tesla, with Apple recognizing that the stronghold grip on the EV market would make it very difficult for Apple to emerge as a very successful OEM, even with a partner. So Dan is referring to Tesla's strength as an EV leader, a dominating EV leader in U.S. Electric vehicle sales, also a very strong competitor in Europe and in China and elsewhere around the world. Not the leading producer of EVs in all of those markets, but I believe has the number one selling model in China and in Europe and in the US, the Model Y. So what did Jon Bryant think of that? He said, "This is a joke. This is Apple saying it's a terrible business." What's a terrible business? Manufacturing automobiles. Manufacturing specifically autonomous electric vehicles. Tesla has no stranglehold, not number one in China, the largest market, not number one in the second largest EV market, not number one in the world, not meaningfully growing revenue with low and collapsing operating margins. So number one by what measure? We don't know. Jon doesn't say. I think he's wrong if he's saying for EV sales. Yeah, Tesla is number one. Maybe not in China, but in, the number one selling model at least. Maybe he means total sales. Definitely number one in the US, right? Probably still number one in Europe. It's been a while since I looked at the EU-EVs numbers, but I think Tesla's doing real well still. So I replied, "Hey, aren't you the guy who kept trying to convince Tesla fan MTL, that being James Catt, and me, that Apple was way ahead of Tesla on autonomous vehicle development?" He is. He's the guy. So on November 23rd of 2021, I screenshotted Jon Bryant saying, "This is completely nuts. Way I would be 1000x better in a non-GOD Maces area." I think he meant geofenced area. "There are literally 10 companies better than Tesla. In 2019, according to a Tesla-sponsored study, Tesla's disengagement rate was 1 disengagement per 6 miles. Apple Car was at 120 miles per disengagement." He made up, he claimed sourcelessly. Waymo was at a meeting vet 10K. Waymo was at a meeting vet 10K. If you can understand the drivel from Jon Bryant in this screenshot, let me know. Let's go to the next one. This is the next tweet in the thread. So he said that's part one. Here's part two. "Comparing Tesla to Waymo is the biggest gaslighting in the market today. Tesla is roughly at the high school level, and Waymo is professional. The gap is so wide that they can't be compared. Literally, more than 10 companies are multiple years ahead of Tesla." So James Catt replied, "If you're scoring Tesla based on how well it can do grade 2 math, then sure. Waymo does grade 2 math better than Tesla, but Tesla is studying calculus, not grade 2 math. Understand the difference? When Tesla learns calculus, grade 2 math is irrelevant. It will take more time." And James Catt was right. V12 does a lot better in terms of performance than Waymo does. Certainly in the areas that Waymo doesn't cover, it does 100% better, because the Waymo vehicle will not move in areas where it has not been exhaustively pre-mapped in high-definition maps of the area, so it doesn't get lost. And here's one from Jon Bryant retweeting me. I said, Elon is right. The world needs AVs soon. In November of 2021. One day, I tweeted, we'll look back in horror at how unsafe it was to let people drive cars manually the way we already can't believe smoking was once permitted on airplanes and in doctors' offices. Hashtag human pilot, hashtag corner cases for carpathy, back when Andre worked for Tesla. Hashtag Tesla. So Jon Bryant retweeted me that day saying, reminder, if AVs take over soon, Tesla will have to lease the tech from some other company. Which other company? Tesla is last or next to last in AV tech. Even Apple's car has a disengagement rate of 1 in 170 miles. That's not the same number he cited before, so I wonder if he made them both up or if he has different sources or if he forgot what the number was. Far better than Tesla, and Apple is towards the bottom. Yeah, but far better, right? So that's what Jon Bryant was trying to convince me and James Catt of. To which Farzad replied, "You're the goat, James," and I replied, "Well, I'm not Jon Bryant anyway." And that's my video for today. So with that, we'll check back in with Loki and see that he is still curled up in bed sleeping. And I'll remind you to hit the like button if you didn't hit the like button yet. You know how social media works. You like stuff that you like, right? Unless you do a weekly series called James and Loki's Gems of the Week, in which case your video will be way too long if you like every single thing you see that you even partially like. I think that applies mostly to me. I make a subscriber-exclusive weekly video on all the tweets that I have clicked the like button on X over the previous week, and I talk about why I've liked them. So that's one of the benefits of being a subscriber. The other one is early access to all of my videos the day that I upload them. So consider doing that on Patreon for $4.20 a month or on X for $3 a month, which is 69 cents per week. But a special shout out to my two executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, who joined on YouTube at a very high tier. And I'll see you in the next one. No edits in my videos. You get what you get.